Hi everyone, welcome back. In the next couple of videos, I will talk about data management in Snowflake. Data management in the sense managing a database, managing a schema, table, stages and views in Snowflake. In this particular video, I will be talking about managing a database in Snowflake. I will create a new database with default settings and walk through several variations on the database creation process, followed by how to minimize storage usage when creating a database and how to set up the replication of database across various regions and when to do the replication of databases. These steps that I'm going to show you can be run either in Snowflake Web UI or the SnowSQL command line client. Let us start with creation of a database in Snowflake. The basic syntax for creating a new database is fairly straightforward. I will be creating a new database that is called my first DB. We are assuming that the database doesn't exist already. When we run this command, the command should successfully execute. Now let us list the databases in our account. Type show databases like my first DB and run. The query should return one row showing information about newly created database such as the database name, the owner, the comment on the database, the retention time, and you can notice that the retention time is set to 1 by default and the options column is blank by default. So if you would like to have time travel feature on the Snowflake for your database that you are creating, you can set the retention time to be more than 1. In order to set the retention time to be more than 1 day, you must have at least the enterprise license for Snowflake. The current account that I am having that doesn't have the enterprise license. I am using the trial version of Snowflake account. So I will not be able to create the database with the data retention time more than 1 day. Let me try to show you the command that can be used to have the data retention time for more than 1 day. In this command, like for the new database production database to get created, I am setting the data retention time in days to be 2. This command should generally fail because I am not having the enterprise Snowflake account. But if you have the enterprise license for the Snowflake account and if you are creating any production database, this command should work successfully. Let me try to run it and see what it will show us. So it shows that the maximum allowable retention time is 1. So we can only have 1 day set as maximum retention time. Let me change it to 1 again and try to run this command. So the database production database is created. Now let us run show databases. Now you can see that production database is created with the retention time 1 again because I have set the retention time as 1. While the retention time tells us the time travel feature of Snowflake, the time travel is normally required for production databases and we would not normally need time travel and fail safe for temporary databases such as the databases that are used in ETL processing. Removing time travel and the failsafe helps in reducing storage cost. Let us see how we can do that. I will now create a new database named temporary database. This command tells us the data retention time in days is set to 0 and I am creating the database to be transient. Transient means that this database is not fail safe. Let me run this command. So the database temporary DB is successfully created. So we can now see that the temporary DB is created with retention time as 0 and the options as transient. So the options of the database can be changed once the database is created also. For example, if you want to change the retention time of the database for the database already created, we can run alter command. Now for the previously created database temporary DB, the retention time is 0. I would like to set the retention time in days to be 1. I'm running this alter command to see what happens. So I have successfully run the alter command. Now let us show the databases and see what is the retention time now. So it shows that the retention time is 1. So using the alter command, we can change in later time after a database is created for the data retention. So how the create database works is that the create database will creates a database in Snowflake account with the defaults set at the account level. If we have not changed the defaults means some of the options like data retention time is time in days. So if we have not changed the default for time travel is 1, which is the value that appears in the retention time when you run the show databases command. The database by default will also have a failsafe enabled automatically. Both of these options like the retention time and failsafe for a database will cost you in storage, and in certain cases you might want to reduce those storage cost. As an example, databases that are used for temporary ETL processing can be easily configured to avoid these costs. A key thing to know about the databases and tables used for ETL processing is that the data in those tables will be repeatedly inserted and deleted. If such tables are not specifically configured, you will be unnecessarily incurring cost for the time travel and fail-safe feature. We will set such databases to be transient so that the fail-safe option is not the default for tables in the database. Setting the option doesn't mean that such databases are not protected by fail-safe if a data loss event occurs. But for temporary databases and tables, this should not be an issue. Also, we have set the time travel to be 0 so that there is no time travel storage as well. So also note that although we have set the database to have no time travel and no failsafe, we can still set individual tables within the database to be protected by failsafe and time travel. Setting these options at the database level only changes the defaults for the objects created within that database. Note that there is alter database command as well, which can be used to change some of the properties after the database has been created. It is a powerful command that allows renaming a database, swapping a database with another database, and also resetting custom properties back to their defaults. And it is also important to note that creating a database sets the current database of the session to the newly created database. For example, if I after running the first command, so the default database for the session would be my first DB. So again I created a transient database called database. So when we run this create database commands, the databases would be created and the default database for the current session would be set as the database that is created recently. There is more to know about Snowflake. I will be covering the time travel and fail safes in much more detail in subsequent videos. I will also show in depth how to create databases from shades and databases that clone from other database in my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching. If you find this video to be useful, please hit on the like button, and for more interesting videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.